Hey, everybody. This is LJ of LJ Presents, and today I have a special guest for you. He is the writer and also director of a new movie called The Humble Servant. And right now, I want to introduce to you all Mr. Colin D'Amelio.
How we doing, everyone? Thanks for having me on.
Now, hey, listen, I'm glad that you agreed to be here. Listen. Question. I just want you to familiarize yourself with everyone that's listening and watching right now. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. I appreciate you having me on, Leslie. It's a pleasure. My name is Colin D'Amelio. Like you said, I'm a filmmaker and an editor. I've been editing with Paramount for almost a decade now. A lot of promotional material for their shows and launches. But lately, I've been getting more into independent film in the past few years. The Humble Servant will be my fourth film that I've directed, and it's definitely our biggest project we've taken on as far as the size, the scope, and the cast and crew. So we're excited about it. And yeah, I'm just kind of creative that's really passionate about just telling stories, whether that's writing, directing, editing. Doing a lot of writing lately too. And I also published a multi-generation collection of poems between my father, my grandfather, and I too. So full of all different sorts of creative surprises.
Interesting, very interesting. But listen, what inspired you to write The Humble Servant, and did the current events leading up to the making of it have anything to do with it?
I mean, the current events definitely encouraged the fire under me to go through with it all, but really the inspiration came from St. Anthony's Church, which you were there, Leslie, too. But it's a church I used to go to in Long Beach, and there was a deacon there who was helping out with the priest, and I just kind of witnessed his humble acts of service that really inspired the kernel for this story. But really, it's a story. It is a story like built in the Catholic Church, but it's not a story just for Catholics or even for Christians. It's a story for anyone who's gone through grief and loss. It's a story for anyone dealing with ageism and discrimination with that, or just anyone who has had doubt or has had a crisis of faith. And ultimately, it deals with a lot of that, but it also ultimately it's a story of hope and one that showcases that the people draped in golden robes on the altar struggle with the same things that you and I do. So some of the current events, though, too, like the script has been made over the course of 2 or 3 years, and Conclave came out, which was a big Oscar-nominated film, and then Wake Up Dead Man came out from the Knives Out series, which like were really mainstream films that dwelt on these topics of faith and really had these main characters that were struggling in their faith and what their roles are, which was awesome because there was a lot of things that was already built into our cake with the humble servant that I could take away from those films. So it's cool to see it in the mainstream screen, and it's cool to see people attracted to those kind of stories.
Mm. That's interesting because when I read the script, I actually felt in that everyone in the script was a humble servant of some sort. So what do you say about that?
The humble servants in their own ways, whether it's the right way to go about it or not. Father Brown, the priest in the story, is kind of a stubborn, stuck in his way kind of leader of this church that has taken from some actual, experiences and people that I know, but he has this soft kind of turnaround towards the end that he's trying to say thank you without actually saying it, or trying to show love without saying the words out loud sometimes. And so there's a humbleness or a humble servant in that aspect too. And then of course, Deacon's wife, and of course your character, the street man there too, is kind of just this um, person. And to me, a humble servant is someone who's not loud or is not obvious or kind of just goes about their day. And the street man was definitely that. It was just a unexpected, surprisingly humble
Mm.
servant character too in its way too. So yeah, they all kind of spark that humble servant message in their characters, which was beautiful. So I guess I never really interpreted it that way, but I'm glad you saw that. You know.
Yeah, it was to me, it was refreshing. It was refreshing. We're going to take a break and come right back.
Yo, I heard this one different. It's got that hood energy, but with vampires.
Yeah, not like the usual horror stuff. It's funny, wild, and the visuals are crazy. Look at this poster.
LJ, the star, he's got his own app, LNJ. You can actually see his work right in there.
Oh, that's smart. So you can follow everything he's doing?
Exactly. Movies, updates, all connected. That's how I even found out about the Night Boys.
All right. We watching this tonight?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Colin D'Amelio. Describe the process of getting the film to this point, and where is the film at this point?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's been it's been quite a process. It's funny, when I wrote this script, I was in a really good place as far as like my job that I had and the living situation, and it really is. In the story, we go into the book of Job, and the main character uses it to teach some stories with his kids, and it's also kind of similar to what he's going through in his life. And I didn't realize I was going to be kind of challenged in the same way. Kind of losing a lot of the job that I had, losing the place that I had, and I really, couldn't afford to live where I was anymore. I couldn't afford to definitely do this film, and so I put it in God's hands, and I said, because a lot of my past projects I've financed independently or just financed myself, and I said, if this story wants to get made, we'll put it out there, and if people want to support it, it will get made. And so we put it on Kickstarter. We raised $30,000 in 40 days, and that became The Humble Servant. And it was a message that was clear that people believed in us and what we were doing. And we were in pre-production for a few months, and then production in February was an amazing 4 days of production that, again, I feel like was helped by all the prayers and thoughts by a bunch of communities, that it really went smoothly as much as it could. There was a couple things we had to pivot on, but for managing a 25-person crew and 8-person principal cast, it really was a welcoming, amazing, positive, and relatively very smooth set for 4 days in Southern California. And now we're in post-production land. So we are in the edit right now for The Humble Servant. There's a lot of stuff moving in the background as far as music licensing and video effects and that kind of stuff. But our goal is to have a lock cut done by the end of May-ish. And we still are hoping to have the final cut finished by summertime, like end of June, beginning of July is our ultimate goal.
Right on, right on. You know what? I'm going to say this, that I've done quite a few independent films, and as far as being organized and getting your shots in the adequate time and whatnot, I feel like you guys capitalized on everything that you did. Everything ran smooth for me, and like I said, I've done independent films for a minute, and yeah, you guys, you rate right up there with the top ones that I've done. And they had some of the independent films that I did had a lot more money than you guys had, and did not run as smoothly as The Humble Servant. So I'm going to say that right now. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just want to say that's a testament to our crew at John Vogt, our DP, and his amazing crew. So yeah, no, we're so blessed to have that, and we were so gracious to have the second cameraman to our camera B operator Eli, and just get everything that we needed to in an efficient amount of time, and it was an amazing process. So all props to the crew for that.
Yeah, they did a great job. Everyone did a great job. Down the wardrobe, they did a great job. So yeah, I was impressed, and I was happy too, because things went quickly, And I like your direction. Everything was good for me. Everything was great. So kudos to you. So listen, you were saying something earlier about your living situation. Where are you now? Because I know that at one point you were in Ohio, then New York, then Florida. Where are you now?
Yeah, you can't pin me down. I'm all over the place.
See,
I've been telling people I'm bi-coastal because I'm on like East Coast and West Coast a lot. But for now, for the indefinite future, I'm on the East Coast. In Connecticut and New York a lot too. Our editor actually, because originally I was planning on editing The Humble Servant, but I'm actually going to be going with another colleague and team member for The Humble Servant that is based on the East Coast, which is great because we'll probably go into the edit together and an edit suite and tackle the edit. So primarily on the East Coast now in Connecticut and New England and New York area. So.
Oh, okay. So you gave it over to him, and I mean, did you feel like you were too close to the project to just eye it yourself and edit it?
Yeah, I mean, again, with this, it's very different than anything I've done before. The faith-based aspect of it, and it's really, I know it sounds like pretentious, but it really has felt like something I've been called to tell or to make, and in that aspect, I really like to listen to what it's trying to tell me, and I'm obviously very experienced in post-production world and editing, and I've edited all my past pieces, but I really felt like I needed a different perspective, and I feel like I needed to take a step back. It's really hard for me to do that and like relinquish that creative control. But Leo right now, who is coming on as our editor, I trust, and it's the edit is the last time the story is written again too. So the story's written again, and I've already had a hand in writing it a lot, and sometimes you have to trust that and take a risk with that to really find even more beautiful moments than you didn't think was there. I mean, with John too, our DP, he kind of wrote the story again in a way too that I never saw before because he's a wonderful creative himself as well. So
Right. Yeah, I noticed that too on the when I was on set. Um, he had switched up a couple of things or whatever. His eye saw something a little bit different than yours, and you guys collaborated on it, which is a great thing. Which is a great thing. Tell me, what do you hope to achieve with the release of this film?
oh man, I mean, just getting it done would be an awesome accomplishment. I mean, getting any film done, as you know, is a miracle within itself. Um, but I think just being able to share it with community, sharing it with the church communities and the family and friends community and now fans of the Humble Servant that we've built up with this is going to be so rewarding. We wouldn't have gotten there without them. And so now to give it back to them means so much. I think about the short documentary that I made before this that's in the festival circuit right now. And the family that it focused on, when I was able to share it with them and they were so emotional, those are the things that stick with me more than, winning an award or, getting into a film festival, which we still very much want to do with this film and have the intentions of going all the way with it. But, giving back to the community that's given us so much is going to be what's, I think, most fulfilling for me.
I like that. Yes, indeed. What is the name of the short documentary? Tell the people about the short that you made prior to that.
Oh yeah, so we have thanks, I appreciate you letting me talk about it. But yeah, we have a short documentary. It's called The Last Houseboat. It's about my friend's unique wooden box of a vessel that was on the coast of Rhode Island for 50 years and kept within one family. And it's in the festival circuit right now. We've been picking up on the East and West Coast, but you can check out information and where we're screening next on our site at thelasthouseboat.com. And has some like behind the scene images and videos on there as well. But we hope to make that available soon too, whether it's distribution or just free somewhere as well in the near future, because we'll be ending our festival run with that in the next few months.
Okay, cool. And listen, Your film is a faith-based film. I want to know, how do you feel the film will fare with non-believers?
I think it'll fare great. I mean, when our producer came on, Colleen, who's awesome, she, I mean, I don't want to speak for her, but I know she's not like an extremely religious person. She hasn't, she has or has been a part of the church at one point in her life, but all this just to be said that she got very emotional reading the script, and people have had emotional reactions reading the scripts. And there was times when I was filming where I was getting emotional for many reasons. And ultimately, it's about someone who loses their rock. You know, he loses the main character loses his wife, and so I think that's something that resonates with all of us. It doesn't mean you have to be a Christian to understand that. And you know, our priest, Father Brown, says it very well too. Like, and that's something that, you know, I'm a believer in God all the way, but like Catholicism isn't like, I don't know if Catholicism is the hill I want to die on, like, but Team God, I'm willing to die on, you know? So that being said, like, I think people use their religion as, you know, a beating stick sometimes overhead with, and try and, you know, be a little bit preachy with it, which, like, you know, if this film has inspired people and brought them to faith or any kind of, you know, invitation for that, I'm so blessed to have the opportunity. But our main character or one of our characters, Father Brown, says it well, that he knows a lot of Catholics who are assholes, and he knows a lot of atheists who are good people, you know?
Yeah,
So
I remember those lines. Yeah, because that kind of struck me in the when I was reading it. It kind of sat with me. It was like, yeah, I know some of those people. You know.
and not to say that, you know, everyone's in that category, but you know,
Right, right.
It's not an excuse, you know, to be a butt, you know. So
Well, I mean, we're all humans, man. We're all
yeah,
humans, so you know, you get that. You know, I mean, I'm not a church goer per se. I'm not religious at all. I want to say that I'm more spiritual than religious, because I feel like I can pick up on the aura of different people, and I always try to live right and do right by people, period. You know, but I've been to churches, man, and some of these people in church, I tell you, woo, maybe they need to be somewhere else, because church, you know what I mean? They're giving churches a bad name, you know. So
yeah,
I
I know.
get it, you know. And when those lines came up in the script when I was reading it, you know, I was like, oh, I know a person like that. I know a couple of people like that, you know. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's good.
There's definitely a self-righteous or, you know, virtuous aspect to some of it, and again, not all, because I mean, the people that we had at St. Anthony's were so amazing, and I believe you may have met some of them too. But there's amazing people that were just selfless, offering their help, their hands, their time, with this film. And you know, these are people that aren't getting paid at all either. You know, they
Absolutely.
help out, and so there's so many examples of that within my local communities here on the East Coast and communities out on the West Coast. But yeah, no, I think a lot of times people hear Catholic or Christian or faith and they go running. But you know, this is a film that I think will resonate with a lot of people because it has a universal message of hope, and it has a lot of things that we all struggle with every day. So
Tell me about, I noticed that you had a lot of family there filming with you. Yeah, I think your nephews, right? They played a part in
yeah.
the film. And who else was it? You transportation, I do believe. You know, tell me how you got them involved.
Yeah, that's another reason why this piece became so emotional for me too, especially on set. You know, my dad's a deacon in the church, which helped inspire kind of this piece, and also was able to workshop the script with him as well to get the insight and understanding, which he became a liturgical consultant on set, which I didn't realize how much I was going to use when it comes to properly dressing the characters when they're in their robes and vestments. And then our aunt, Fiona, my aunt, is technically our executive producer. She was, I think, driving me at one point, but she's our executive producer. She's been a big part of this from day one, and is still a big part of it. So we had my aunt on set, we had my dad, and then we had my nephews and my whole brother's family, because they brought their kids. All three of their boys at one point actually were in the film. They ranged from 12 to 6 years old, and they were amazing. Archer and Alden were the Deacon's sons, Anthony and Jesus, their character names, and they were awesome. And to call action in a bedroom scene where he's reading a story to the kids, and my nephews are reading lines, was just, I don't know if I'll ever have that experience again. And so I told people that I always wanted to make films that my family could enjoy watching or even quote, but I never thought I would make film with my family, which was such a rewarding experience. So yeah, it really became a family affair, whether I
oh yeah, it was definitely a reunion there.
yeah
I had no idea that everybody, your family was there like that, and that's refreshing to see family support like that too. It's very refreshing. I never saw it like that before. I've seen some independent films where you get a couple of friends together and stuff, and they'll do some things for you, but I've never seen a film like this with all the family involvement.
Yeah, I'm blessed to have this family that I have, and actually even some of the scenes at the church too are my uncle Frank and my other cousin came and were extras, and then my mom and my aunt out here were helping with the crowdfunding and a lot of other stuff in the background too. So I'm so blessed to have the family that I have, and the humble servant wouldn't have gotten there without them. So.
Yeah, and they flew up from Florida, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, my brother's family was already coming out there actually for vacation. We just kind of timed it. We knew a lot of it ahead of time, but they're actually from Florida because they were seeing my cousins who live out there in California, and we were able to just steal the time from them and steal them for a couple days to have some amazing work with them, and Joseph too, who plays Deacon Jorge, was just amazed at how professional the kids were, and I can't wait to showcase them in this piece. So.
Oh yeah. They were definitely amazing. I mean, I only worked with them the one day at the cemetery, but yeah, they were definitely a treat. Very, very, very professional. And Joseph, let's talk about Joseph a little bit. What made you cast him?
Yeah, Joseph obviously was an important piece of this puzzle. Our lead for Deacon Jorge, and we had a few people in callbacks, but I feel like I don't like to make my decision like before callbacks, but I feel like I was leaning towards him already, and he had this incredible depth to him that you could see the sorrow, but you could also see this joy. And I already knew the answer before I asked if he was a father, because we did like a chemistry read too with my nephews. But even before that, in his audition, I could tell the way that he was playing with the character that you could tell he is a father, and the way he interacts with children, which I feel like it's hard to fake that, if you haven't like had those experiences. But he's just a talented actor in general, and we were so lucky to have him. And yeah, it just felt like a natural fit. He's got some good facial hair and hair in general too, which I feel like the Deacon's character, we were aiming to have that. I mean, it wasn't essential, but little things like that. But yeah, we were so great to have him on for this.
Speaking of him, now let's speak about myself. What made you cast me? in the role of the street man.
Yeah, I told you that you should sit pretty tall because we had so many auditions for Streetman character, and I saw yours and just knew already, and I'm like, yep, we're gonna go with Leslie. So I think the grittiness of the character that you brought to it, like the very much Streetman is such a really cool character. I wish we could have even dived into him more in this piece because he's got a lot of different layers, and you see a different range from him even just in the one scene he has a interaction with Deacon Jorge. And so I saw that in your performance, and I think you have some really great, like your eyes and your facial movements are amazing. And I mean, you saw we did some extreme close-ups on your face and your lips and that kind of stuff. So it was very important for that character. So I knew it was going to work well, and you're amazing. It was a joy to work with you. So I appreciate it.
Oh, likewise, man. I thank you very much. I thank you for casting me because I really do feel like this film is going to do some big things. You know, even though I mean it's a short, true, but I think it's going to open you up to a lot more things. You know, in the future. So, you know,
Yeah,
are there any other projects you have in mind right now for the future?
oh yeah, that's the problem of being a creative. I have too many. I have a lot of pieces that I'm writing, and then I wouldn't mind getting into a couple of documentaries. Again, I have some short documentary ideas, but I'd love the chance to do a full feature one day. That's a horse of a different color. Like everything's bigger, obviously the budget and what's involved. But I think, like you said, I think a lot of these pieces are opportunities to, find those opportunities as well along the way. So I will say, I got to say too about your character. Someone was telling me, because, we've been sharing a lot of the images from The Humble Servant, and I wanted to get some photos with you, and you were all in wardrobe and costume, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I saw you took a photo with a nice homeless man." Because you're in kind of street clothes there that we arted up and everything, and
That's funny.
testament to our art department and how well you looked into your character. But I'm like, no, that's actually amazing actor Leslie. But thank you. I'm glad.
That is totally funny, man. But
Yeah.
but yeah, they did do a good job on me, and it helped me even dig a little bit deeper into the character. You know.
Yeah, it makes it easier when you
But
put on.
when we were at the cemetery, the I guess the grounds workers, I guess that's what you call them. Well, one of them saw me walk by, and I was in character and stuff, and they were like, they looked at me like, "Oh, let's get him out of here." You know what I mean? It's like, he shouldn't be in here. What is he doing in here? It was funny, and I just kept walking. That little walk that I got. That I have.
That would have been some great footage, if we got some of that, So
Yeah, that was fantastic, man. That was fantastic. So, well, listen, man, is there I mean, anything else you would like to tell us about, the humble servant, or any other thing that you've done? I know you said you did the houseboat thing. What else can we find?
yeah, we made a film too. I don't know if it's public. I think it's somewhere, and we're also kind of submitting it in a smaller way to festivals. But we did a film with CBS. It was a part of like a pipeline challenge where we got to make a film for a nonprofit in LA, and we actually won that contest. And they were granted $100,000, the nonprofit company, for the film that we made them. It's called Rooted, ROUTED, and it was about the company Ciclavia. I don't know if you know Ciclavia. They around streets of LA for bikes and
The bicycle thing.
Yeah. They're an awesome company, and so that was fun to collaborate. We shot that on the Radford lot, so that was another short we had under our belt. And actually, I met John, our DP, so that's out there. But yeah, like really focusing on a humble servant right now, making this my baby, and just trying to make the most of it. But I mean, I guess I'll just say too, to a lot of filmmakers out there, and maybe if people are interested in making one, I mean, some of the coolest things were to hear, like Abby, our first AC, was thinking about making a faith-based film, and she was like interested in possibly shooting at the same church that we shot into, and just really awesome conversations. But I'll say, don't don't wait until you think everything's perfect. Like, you're never gonna
Mm,
have the right time, you're never gonna have the right budget, you're never gonna have everything lined up perfectly. Like, that's not how it works, that's not how life works. And just, if you have an idea and if you want to make it and you have the passion and the energy to do so, do it, and just build a good team around you and build in people who believe in you, and do it, because and, the world needs good stories. And um I think a lot of times people hold back because they think they're not ready or it's not ready, and we don't hear those voices sometimes. So
right, right. Well, I got to tell you, I've been. This was actually I want to say the third faith-based film that I've been in.
nice.
Um,
You're on a
the
roll with
first,
faithfuls, huh?
yeah, yeah. The first one was called, is titled 23rd Psalms. And it was shot in LA. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the writer, director, producer has it on YouTube somewhere. And then the follow-up to that is 23rd Psalm Redemption. The storyline is that I'm a preacher, and this, by the way, girl, or whatever you want to call her, prostitute or whatever, she develops a some type of power to heal people,
Hmm.
and the preacher gets jealous of that and ends up killing the young lady. You know, so the young lady's brother is a cop, and he finds out what's going on. So that sends me to jail, and then on the second one, I break out of jail,
Hmm.
and I come to wreak havoc on the cop and his family. So yeah, it's crazy, and it's starring myself and
Wow.
Clifford Powell and Tatiana Ali.
Wow.
So I had some good co-stars with me and stuff. And yeah, it turned out pretty good, turned out pretty well. But yeah, and I think both of those you could see on YouTube. I'm not really certain, but I want to say this to you, that soon, and I'm talking about very soon, within a month or so, you can be able to go to LJ Presents, download that, and then go to LJ Tube, and you can see these films because I will have them up there. You
Oh,
know,
great.
and, yeah. So it'll be a one-stop shop, and hopefully I can get yours too. And put it up there.
Of
Yeah,
course. Yeah, yeah. And we'll probably be giving you some, selects too for you to use as well, personally. But that's cool that it's been like a few faith-based things that have been picking you up. And I just want to say too that this film, I know you asked like the inspiration. For me, it also was a way for me to not put my faith on the back burner anymore. I do.
Mm,
People ask me if I'm religious, and I always say like I'd say faithful than religious is how I like see it, and like believing in God. And you know I had a mentor and a life coach at the time when I was writing the script, and I was kind of just like ready to like, yeah, we'll put this to the side. And he's like, hold on. He's like, this is interesting. He's like, this is different. I haven't heard. And even the deacon character too. You don't, even a lot of faith based stuff, even with it's Christian or whatever. You don't see a lot of them about deacons per se. Um, so I'm. It was something that was not easy for me. I'm not someone who's like shoving it down people's throats, but there was no hiding from it once I put this out there. I have to like live boldly in it, and so that's been like a very new experience for me, but something that I'm really proud of too, and why I'm like so excited to finish it as well.
that's cool. Well, you know what? I found in the script that there was a balance. It wasn't preachy. you know. Um, even when I don't want to give away the film. I don't want to any spoilers here, you know what I'm saying? Because the film is definitely worthy of being watched. Um, but when the interaction between Joseph's character and my character, it was it wasn't preachy because of the fact that I feel that who was delivering the message, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because my character was delivering the message, so therefore it didn't seem preachy, even though it was a sermon in a
Right.
sense. So yeah, so there was I feel like it was a great balance of not beating people over the head with
Yeah.
religion or spirituality or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, you humbled the main character in a way, who's well versed with, probably more well versed, or he thinks he's more well versed with scripture, certain things, and you kind of spit it right back to him. And
Right.
it's a real reflection of instances I've had, or other examples in my life where it's like being humbled, and you never know who you're talking to, and also you never know when a moment like that is just kind of like almost like God speaking to so.
That part. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And what made you choose Long Beach as the backdrop for this movie?
Yeah, I mean, Long Beach is a community I love, and I mean, up until last October, I was living there pretty much, so it was like my home. And that church was very much St. Anthony's, like one of probably the main reasons we shot our first 2 days at St. Anthony's Church there. And I know, the clergy very well there. I know the people involved. So it was, I mean, we still had to do a lot of things just to get permission to film there, but it's very much easy to facilitate as far as getting the help with that. So that was the reason behind it. And then, all of the other locations we were able to facilitate within Long Beach, like downtown area practically, which just really helped with being able to shoot everything in like 4 or 5 days time, in a very efficient manner. So, and the weather, although we had almost a little bit of rain, but
Yeah.
filming in February on the East Coast would have been a very different situation. So,
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it would have been colder. That's for sure.
but it's also
But
a very like Northern California story. Like there's a lot of Hispanic influence in it. Like Deacon Jorge's whole family is Hispanic, and like the Our Lady of Guadalupe is very much a symbol in this film. So it really, and I wrote that in mind when I first wrote it. So I don't think it really would have made sense anywhere else than Southern California, honestly. So
well, I got to tell you, when we were filming, um, we were at the church because we were going to film outside of the church. I was on the street. I noticed that, and this is the first time I've ever seen this, because I'm not Catholic at all, and I just never seen this before. But there were families coming up to actually pray and stuff to the statues that were outside or whatever. I don't know. I'm not, like I said, I don't know who the statue was or whatever, but they were out there praying. I had never seen anything like that before. Only in movies, but never personally up front.
yeah, and I wish, and I'm thinking about it now. I wish we were able to bring you into the church just to show you how beautiful it was. We were they were doing some cleaning, and I'm also like, I just want to get people out as quickly as possible when, we're using their time. So I didn't want to like waste any more of your time, but that day, and it was our last day too. But I know you saw the Our Lady of Perpetual Help Shrine in the courtyard there, which is where we filmed.
Right.
And you'll see it a lot actually in this piece because we filmed an important scene there with Deacon and Father. So yeah, it was just like even just the courtyard itself is so beautiful there. So I'm glad you saw some people taking that in.
Yeah, it was the whole family. Yeah, it was a mother, father, and I think a daughter that was out there. And like I said, it was an experience for me because I had never actually seen that before. And quiet as a kept, I didn't know what to do. I mean, should I be quiet when I walk past? You know what I mean? I just didn't know. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know, you don't know, right?
Yeah.
And like I had never been in that situation before, but I just kind of I actually ended up stopping and waiting until they were finished before I crossed to to go
Oh,
outside.
that was nice of you. I mean, you probably went overboard, but that's so nice of you to, I wish more people did that, but they're probably used to people walking. I forget that you were still in costume too, so they may have been like, "What's
Yeah.
you probably didn't want to startle them,
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, man. So, what's your plans, man, for the rest of this month and whatnot? I know to get the movie done, but what stage are you at now, as far as getting it complete, as far as showing people stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we're a little bit
Mm.
behind from where I anticipated being. We're still in like stringing things out for the main edit and everything like that. We're still in very beginning stages of that. Um, but again, I'm fully confident in myself and our post production team. So I would love to have, my goal is to have a rough cut done by the end of this month. I don't know if that's
Okay.
going to still be a thing. It might be a few weeks pushed back past that. Um, but it's fun going through the footage and seeing everything. I was able to calculate how much footage we have. We have over 7 hours of footage from production. So it's a decent amount. Our script was 25 pages. We're trying to get closer to 20-minute mark, ideally
Mm,
for our runtime.
right.
But again, we're going to take as long as we need to tell our story. So
Gotcha.
whatever that ends up being.
You still have a Kickstarter for that, is that correct?
So we did have the Kickstarter that was successful for our phase one. We're doing what we're calling the final mile of phase two,
Okay.
because we did run into some unexpected costs during production. But we're actually using a site called Spot Fund, and you can find the Humble Servant on there. But we're doing like a much smaller campaign because the final push is it's only a little bit more needed, but we wanted to just do a little bit more outreach again and get what we needed for our finishing funds. But it's a rolling like kind of deadline too. Like we don't need it tomorrow, so we're not worried, and we have like we said a great community, and we're putting it in God's hands, and we're confident we're going to get there. So yeah, Spot Fund is our new site we're using, and then I know you're well aware of our Instagram too, the Humble Servant Film on Instagram and Facebook. But also we have a lot of content on our socials too, which I know Leslie you've been commenting and enjoying too, with even just some like Humble Servant nominations we were doing. We're putting out some behind the scene images. We're some really cool stuff, and our Sam, our social media manager, has been amazing with that. But our Instagram is the Humble Servant Film, so at the Humble Servant Film on Instagram, and I believe it's just the Humble Servant on Facebook, but it's all linked. You should be able to find it one with the other on Facebook. But definitely give us a follow on there, because we'll be posting not only more stuff when we get into post production, but also updating in, if we have it out for distribution, if we have it available for viewing, or if we, get into film festivals and we have screenings available on down that way too as well. So
Yeah, I've been following you on Instagram and also sharing, the
oh,
work.
great.
So yeah, I always share, man, because that's what happens. That's how it goes. You know what I mean? You follow someone and they've got good content and you share it. You share it out with your friends. I mean, everyone. I've got a lot of friends on Instagram, Facebook, LJ Presents. We're global here at
Yeah.
LJ Presents. I have people in Germany, France, yada yada yada. That listen to just the radio show and they come through, and I'm quite sure they're going to be viewing this as well. So it will be all over. So you may get a bunch of support for this film.
Yeah, we love it. We love to have you on, and whether it's just following us or supporting us, we love to have the community. I know you have an amazing community too, and I've been trying to share some of your stuff too. You're a performer and multiple levels as a musician and as an actor too, and so it's awesome to see the content you're putting out. And no, yeah, we welcome it, and it's been amazing to see the feedback we've gotten just already, even before finishing the film. So we'd love to have you as part of the Humble Servant community. So.
Oh, right on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, man, I'm going to get ready to wrap it up. And is there anything else you want to say to the people?
Yeah, I wanted to just ask you, if I could, a question, because I was interested on how I know you are a musician and you're an actor, but and we can wrap up with this too if we need to, but I'm just always attracted to how, or interested how actors get drawn into becoming a performer in that way, and what your interest was in becoming an actor.
I'll tell you a quick story. I was working in Culver City at a factory, and because I'm athletic, I would take a run every day, towards on my lunch break, right? And I happened to see a film crew in this park that I would run at up to, or off of Jefferson, is up the hill and stuff. And I happened to see a film crew, and it was a television show. I forget the show right now, but it was a television show that I had seen, and I sat there and I watched them. They had all the hoopla, the cameras, the lights, the yada yada yada, reflectors, everything, right? And I watched them, these major actors, do their thing. And I said to myself, they're not doing anything but talking, so I could do that. So what I did is I went to school. I started going to acting classes, and within that, I started submitting myself for plays. And once I started submitting myself for plays, I've won NAACP awards. I've won all kinds of awards, for my theater work and whatnot. And someone said to me, after winning one of those awards at the Roosevelt Hotel on Hollywood Boulevard, he said to me, after I won the NAACP award, right? He said to me, you have a responsibility. I'm like, what? You have a responsibility to the community, to your people, to everyone, to do great work, and do work that means something, and that just stuck with me, man. And then I continued to go on acting. My first job was Bakersfield PD, which was a show with Giancarlo Esposito. And then I went on to 90210, then Martin. It just started snowballing. And then, and I continued to take classes and stuff. And just the art form itself was so different than playing music, but it was so similar to playing music, because music is what I use to even get into character. I'll find a song or something that fits the character, fits the mode of the character, and then I merge the song with the character, and that becomes my movement, that becomes my what can I say, my groove, my flow with the character, my speech pattern, whatever, it becomes that. One time I did this play called Washington Square Moves, and the movie New Jack City was out at that time with Wesley Snipes, and everybody says, yo, you look like Wesley Snipes. Yeah, well, I worked with him for about 3 whole years. Anyway, getting to that thing, the play, there was a song that Ice-T did called Hustler. And it was like hustler, da 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 da. Well, the character that I was playing was a fast talker. And I would use that song in the flow of that character to be, to speak and to lay the stuff on the person that I'm talking to. It's like, yeah, we could do this, that, and the other thing, and listen, man, look, what, you ever do this? Oh, come on, man, let's do that. That kind of thing, and it got me into the flow. So music and acting to me are not, they're different, but they're the same.
Sure.
Because music puts you into moods and can make you remember things that happened years ago, and in acting involves you in the emotion of that thing too. So between the two, I think I have the best worlds, man, between the two, because I do them both and I do them both well,
Yeah.
not to my own horn, but but yeah. So but yeah, so that's what inspired me, man. The film crew that I saw when I was just exercising, that inspired me, and seeing that they were doing something that I thought I could do, and it looked so natural and so easy, But when I started going to school, I found out that it wasn't as easy as it looks.
Yeah, the good ones make it look easy, and
Yeah,
we had
the good ones make it look easy. That's correct. Yep.
we had some good
But
ones on this set, and you're right. There's definitely a rhythm when you get involved, with performing and acting, that you can have a lot of similarities with music. That
absolutely.
repetition, and it's like a dance you're doing, which it's hard to do a dance without music. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, man. Yeah. Well, Colin, I'm going to wrap it up, man. And I got to tell you, it's been nice to see you again, and I felt like while I was on set that you were one of the best directors I work with, man. Taking direction from you was so very easy. You simplified things and you made me think about different things, and you are definitely an actor's director. And I thank you for being that. And I hope that what I did in your movie will be remembered, and it will be accepted, and it would help elevate the movie.
oh yeah, well we were lucky to have you, Leslie. So I'm grateful for your performance, and it elevated our piece. So I can't wait to show that to you and to everyone else. But no, it's been awesome. And you and Robert, the only unfortunate part was it was like we had him the first 2 days and you the last 2 days. I wish we had you on set all 4 days, because it was just a joy to be around both of you guys there. And but that's how it is on production, and we're glad when we did. So
Well, listen, you take care of yourself and tell your family, everybody, that I said hello, that the street man said hello. and and hopefully I can see you again. Hopefully we'll work together again, man. I would love working with you.
I would absolutely love that. And I'm as much as I am out here, I'll be out there a lot too, and hopefully with some film festivals and other things, especially with The Humble Servant, because I know we want to kind of involve the church and some of the community out there too. So I'm sure you'll be seeing me again soon, but I would love to work with you again sometime as well.
Well, let me know when you're out here or whatever. Maybe we can, get you hooked up and put you back on the show, and and we'll do this again.
We'll do it together in person. So
absolutely. Sounds like a plan, man. Sounds like a plan. Well, listen, everyone, you've been talking to Colin D'Amelio. You've been hearing everything that he's got going on, and right now LJ is going to sign off. Remember to join us at LJ Presents. Just download it. It's free. Download it. ljpresents.com. Peace.